Hi, Andrea.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. And you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Thank you.
Everybody needs to log into the Google Meet. Make sure your mic is off, your camera is on, because I need to do attendance. That's my only way to actually mark that you're here. Nice backgrounds. I like that. Carlos, cool background. It looks like you're swimming underwater. Emmett, that's a cool one. I like that one. Your mic needs, or your camera needs to be on. So please make sure that it is. Otherwise, I don't know that you're actually physically in class. And we'll start here in just a second. All right, this is how this works. Open up the chat box real quick. Please and thank you. I'm going to call your name, and when I call your name, all I want you to do is type the word here into the chat box. Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. Okay, let's do it. Mackenzie, Krista, Amelia, Ariana, David, who should not be here. Yep, okay. Joanna, Anna, Emmett, Carlos, Marley, and Isabel. Awesome, we're all here. Cool. All right. So, excuse me, 1 second. Good morning. I'll be back on Thursday. I just got to finish out my quarantine and then I'll be good to go. I know the schedule is kind of weird and funky right now because of NWEA. The only thing I want to tell you about that is just make sure that you're really trying your best during it. I know you're probably like, why are we doing it? Because we're in the middle of a pandemic. Well, we need some data. We need to know actually how much you haven't learned yet or how much you missed so that when you go to the high school next fall, they can start where we left off last year. You know what I mean? So it's really important that you're doing your best so that if you don't know a lot, then we know where to start and we don't start you in the wrong place. Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. So that's really, I would say out of any time that you take the NWEA, this is the most important because we don't know how much you've learned since last March. We got to know. That's why we need some data. So don't skip out on it. Don't stay at home during the NWEA because that's going to affect how much you actually get taught next year, okay? All right, with that being said, we need to do a little bit of assessing here real quick. So I'm gonna ask a couple questions. I need to pay attention. If you have not finished your data table from activity 2, I need you to type the word me into the chat box right now. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you probably didn't do it, so type me. Okay. All right, so that needs to happen first. Let me tell you, if you have not, well, let me share my screen real quick. Okay. The rest of you just kind of bear with me for the moment. Okay, so if you have not started the data table, then what you need to do is you need to go under activity 2, investigating elements virtual lab, and you need to open that document up and find it and make a copy of it. Okay. Now, let me tell you, the only thing you're doing in this assignment for this week is the data table, which is all the way at the end, okay? You're going to find the information for aluminum, carbon, copper, and iron in this video link right here where it says lab sent video. Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense, okay? When you're ready to start, filling in the part for sulfur, nitrogen, mercury, and germanium, you're going to find that information on page 20, and I'll type this into the chat box, page 20 in the lab aids manual. So for half of it, you're going to find the information in a video. The other half, you have to read lab aids. Page what? Type it into the chat box. What page? Page 20. You got it. Okay. When you're done with that data table, that's all you're doing. You turn that into Google Classroom. Give me a thumbs up if you understand that. Okay. Now, here's the next question I need. If you have not completed the quiz from Friday, I need you to type me into the chat box right now. Go. Okay, probably the same people. Okay. So you need to do the assignment first, and then you need to do the quiz. Just so you know, the quiz is right here. Activity 2, Investigating Elements quiz. Okay. The directions tell you you need to actually reread pages 18 through 19 in the lab aids manual first. So if you don't do that, if you don't read 18 to 19 and try to take this quiz, you're going to be lost. Okay. So when you're done with the assignment, you need to read pages 18 to 19 in the lab aids manual before you take the quiz, because the quiz is based off the information in pages 18 and 19. Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. Okay, so if you have all that done and you're ready to start today's assignment, I want you to type me exclamation point in the chat box. Go. Me exclamation point. Sweet. All right. Let me explain to you what you're going to do. All right. Look at my screen right here. So there's two links right here. There's one that says An Ocean of Plastic Scientific or Science World Magazine. You're going to click on that, okay? And you're going to open it up. And the first thing you need to do is read. So you're going to spend the most of this hour just reading, okay? I need you to read all of this. Yes, watch this video. It's 2 minutes and 8 seconds. It'll help you with the assignment. You're going to read all this. All this. Okay? Then when you're done with that, you're going to go back into Google Classroom and you're going to click here where it says An Ocean of Plastic 3-2-1 reflection assignment. Okay? File and make a copy. If you want to do that right now, go ahead and do that. And then you're going to complete this assignment right here. Thank you for those of you that actually logged in and actually are making a copy of it. I appreciate that. Okay. You need to use complete sentences right here. You need to use complete sentences right here. It's asking you to write 2 questions. So make sure that your question ends with a question mark. Okay. The next one says identify 1 vocabulary word from the video. So you'll have to watch the video to make sure you do that. You might have to look up the definition in Google. I don't have a problem with that, okay? But you're completing this assignment right here. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen for a moment. Okay, so this is the only assignment for this week because you have NWEA. So as soon as you get this done, you're done with me, minus the quiz on Friday, okay? Now, this assignment is due 1 week from today, so the 29th. But if you don't finish this assignment until next week, and then try to take the quiz this Friday, you're going to be hurting. So you really need to have this assignment done before you do the quiz on Friday. Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. Just like last week, we're just not doing a lab. You do the assignment first, then you do the quiz. Or I should say this. You finish the assignment, and then you do the quiz. Do we understand that? Okay. And if you have any questions about this assignment, I'm going to be right here and you can type me into the chat box or you can Google Hangout me. Okay. All right. If you need to use the restroom, you can ask Mrs. Weaver if you can use the restroom. You don't need to ask me for that one. You can ask her that. Okay. But just make sure that you give her your pass to go. Give me a thumbs up if you know what I'm talking about. If you don't have a pass, you don't go. That's our only way to keep track. Okay. Of who's out of the room, all right? What questions do you have for me about the assignments before we begin? Type them into the chat box, please. I'll give you about 30 seconds. If you don't have a question, don't type anything. Can we leave the meet to work on the assignment? Oh, because it lags, doesn't it, Mackenzie? Yes, you can do that. I don't have a problem with that because I can still see you up on this other screen. I don't have a problem with that. Any other questions? Okay. So if you need to log out of here so that you can watch the video so it doesn't lag, go ahead and do that. I'm going to keep my screen up. I am monitoring your screens from my end. Okay. So please make sure that you start to get busy. Make sure that you get busy. Okay. All right. I'm right here if you need some questions. Ready, set, go. Or need some answers.